In a shocking case that has rocked a small Tennessee community, former elementary school teacher Alysa McCombs stands accused of sexually abusing multiple students over an extended period. The 39-year-old educator, who taught at Charger Academy, also known as Covington Integrated Arts Academy in Covington, Tennessee, was first arrested in September 2022 on allegations of raping at least one minor student and inappropriately communicating with numerous former students. The initial arrest was just the beginning of a complex and deeply troubling legal saga that has continued to unfold over the past year. McCombs was initially released on a $225,000 bond, but her freedom was short-lived. In a turn of events that further complicated the case, McCombs allegedly contacted the young victim she was expressly forbidden from communicating with after her release. During this prohibited contact, she purportedly informed the student that she was pregnant with his child. This violation of her release conditions led to McCombs being rearrested and returned to the Tipton County Jail. At a subsequent court appearance, prosecutors played portions of a disturbing voicemail that McCombs had allegedly left for the 12-year-old victim. In the recording, a voice identified as McCombs can be heard pleading with the child not to disclose information about their relationship, expressing fear and stress, and discussing plans to raise the supposed baby. Following this revelation, McCombs' bond was denied, and she has remained in custody ever since. Pregnancy claim added another layer of complexity to an already sensitive case. When McCombs appeared in court for the hearing related to the voicemail, she did appear to be visibly pregnant. However, at a later court appearance in July 2023, approximately 9 months after she first allegedly informed the victim about the pregnancy, her appearance had noticeably changed. Despite the public interest in this aspect of the case, McCombs, attorneys and investigators have remained tight-lipped about the pregnancy, leaving many questions unanswered. As the investigation progressed, the scope of the allegations against McCombs expanded dramatically. In March 2023, she was indicted on 23 charges related to the alleged abuse of multiple students. Charges include rape of a child, 5 counts of aggravated statutory rape, 4 counts of sexual exploitation by electronic means, 4 counts of solicitation of a minor to commit aggravated statutory rape, 2 counts of statutory rape by an authority figure, 2 counts of coercion of a witness, 2 counts of aggravated stalking, violation of the Child Protective Act, tampering with evidence, harassment. It's important to note that some of these charges stem from McCombs' alleged contact with the victim after her initial arrest, when such communication was prohibited. The 23 charges are understood to be related to 5 victims, with 13 of those charges concerning one minor victim in particular. The case has sent shockwaves through the community, not least because of McCombs' position as a trusted educator and her personal connection. At the time of her arrest, she was married to a local sheriff's deputy, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Her initial legal representation came from a former deputy who had served alongside her husband, further intertwining the case with local law enforcement. Investigators have outlined a disturbing pattern of behavior allegedly employed by McCombs to groom and exploit her victims. According to officials, McCombs would initiate contact with students outside of the classroom, often by playing video games with them. From there, she allegedly transitioned to communicating via social media apps before sending explicit messages and photos. The investigations revealed that McCombs reportedly used a system of code words with her victims. She would text these codes to determine if the students were alone before allegedly sending inappropriate content, including nude photos of herself via platforms like Snapchat. The Covington Police Department became involved in the case after learning that McCombs had been suspended without pay from her teaching position by Tipton County Schools due to these allegations. As the case has progressed through the legal system, several noteworthy developments have occurred. In June 2023, McCombs appeared in court to request a public defender, claiming she had no money to fund her defense. Court questioned her about her finances, including potential funds in a retirement savings account. McCombs expressed uncertainty about the exact amount available, but estimated it might be around $10,000 after early withdrawal fees. It was also revealed during this hearing that McCombs was in the process of separating from her husband. The prosecution suggested that proceeds from the sale of their marital home could potentially go towards her defense costs. However, the state objected to the use of taxpayer money for McCombs' defense, highlighting the complex financial considerations at play in such high-profile cases. The legal strategy in the case took a significant turn when the judge granted a motion from the defense to separate the charges into two distinct trials. The first trial will focus solely on the case involving one victim, presumably the student that McCombs allegedly claimed to have impregnated. The second trial will encompass the charges related to multiple victims. This decision likely stems from concerns about potential prejudice if all the allegations were presented together, as well as the complex nature of the evidence involved in each set of charges. The potential consequences for McCombs, if convicted, are severe. It's understood that she could face a minimum sentence of 25 years in prison. Furthermore, the case may extend beyond state jurisdiction. Covington Police Chief Donna Turner has stated that she's been in communication with the U.S. Attorney's Office about the possibility of pursuing federal charges related to the sexual exploitation of minors using cell phones and engaging in inappropriate activities across state line. The McCombs case bears some striking similarities to another infamous teacher-student abuse case from the 1990s, that of Mary Kay Letourneau. In 1997, Letourneau, then 34, pled guilty to second-degree rape of a child for sexually abusing a 12-year-old sixth-grade student in Washington state. Like McCombs, Letourneau became pregnant as a result of the abuse. Letourneau initially reached a plea agreement, resulting in a 6-month jail sentence with 3 months suspended. However, she violated the terms of her release by contacting the victim and was subsequently sentenced to serve 7.5 years in prison. During her incarceration, she gave birth to a second child, fathered by the victim. Upon her release in 2004, Letourneau and her former student married and remained together for 14 years, or separating in 2019. Letourneau passed away in 2020, colon cancer. While there are surface-level similarities between the two cases, legal experts have pointed out significant differences. McCombs' case involves allegations of abuse against multiple victims and a much broader range of criminal charges. Additionally, the legal and social landscape surrounding such cases has evolved significantly since the 1990s, with a greater understanding of the long-term harm caused by child sexual abuse and stricter enforcement of laws protecting minors. As the case against Alysa McCombs proceeds, it continues to raise important questions about trust, authority, and the protection of vulnerable students in educational settings. The community of Covington, Tennessee finds itself grappling with the fallout from these allegations, as families, educators, and local officials work to understand how such abuse could have occurred and what steps can be taken to prevent similar incidents in the future. The case also highlights the complex dynamics at play when a trusted community figure is accused of such serious crimes. The initial disbelief and reluctance to accept the allegations that often occur in such cases can complicate investigations and delay justice for victims. It serves as a reminder of the importance of robust reporting systems, thorough background checks for individuals working with children. As of now, a motions hearing is scheduled for the near future, with the first trial tentatively set for January 2024. However, as is often the case in complex legal proceedings, these dates may be subject to change. Some legal observers have suggested that given the weight of evidence and the serious nature of the charges, there is a possibility that the case may ultimately be resolved through a plea agreement rather than going to trial. Regardless of the eventual legal outcome, the Alysa McCombs case serves as a stark reminder of the vital importance of safeguarding children in educational settings. It underscores the need for vigilance, proper oversight, and clear protocols for reporting and addressing any signs of inappropriate behavior by authority figures. As the legal process unfolds, the hope is that it will not only bring justice in this specific case, but also contribute to broader efforts to protect students and prevent such abuses from occurring in the future.